Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another 12 days of Woo Woo Christmas, where I'm bringing in some of my favorite colleagues, healers that I know, and friends to bring some gems through of some wisdom and some tools that they're using to bring and nourish our souls for the season. And I'm so excited to welcome Jessica Arnatt today with Vibe High with me today. She's been in many of my retreats, almost all of them, I think, and is one of Calgary's top sound healers. Her sound baths are just so beautifully attended, and I really think an expert in raising your vibration. I love the name of your company, Vibe High, Jessica, because it just it suits you and all the frequency that you bring. So yeah, so please, well, thank you, Jessica, for being here.
For having me. You just kind of made me cry a little bit when you said that.
Oh,
Thank you. It was really,
oh,
really beautiful. I appreciate you. Thank
yeah,
you.
absolutely. And so, Jessica, like I feel like we're, it's such a busy time. The Christmas season, there's so many things we're moving through emotionally. There's so much overwhelm, So, what are some tools, that you love to use during this time of year, to raise our vibration and to drop into more of our soul?
Yeah. Oh, wow. There's so the two things I thought of immediately were shifting to a gratitude practice. So when we're in a negative state of mind, in a low vibrational state, it's not always easy to remember because emotions will often take over. But if you can, in a moment, taking yourself to the idea or the thought of what brings you gratitude, what makes you feel blessed, and often I'm still crying.
Oh, I love it. Beautiful energy in the air.
Yeah, well, I just feel so much gratitude, and that's partly why this is coming up
Oh.
first, I guess, is I just really feel grateful to be here with you and doing this because I feel like it can really help. When there's a lot of people, um, energetically, the collective vibration that's going on is potentially heavy, and I think if we can take a moment to think about what it is that makes us feel good, gratitude, not bypassing the stuff that has to be processed, but more just thinking about shifting from a low level vibration to okay, what is it in this moment? Maybe you're making Christmas dinner and something went sideways. It happens, right? And stop and think about, well, what do I have? What is making me feel grateful and blessed that I get to do this? I mean, it could be something as simple as the fact that I get to even be around people that I love. And if it's not that, then I have mobility that I can breathe. I mean, I just spent about 2, 3 months ago with a family member in the hospital, and breathing was a huge issue, and it wasn't just there's so much more than that, but recognizing in a moment that look at what I do have. I have my health, I have my well-being, I have a beautiful partner and son. Whatever the things are for you, right? You can choose those things and just spend time with that moment, that thought, and that will also help
Sometimes
with
do you
it.
feel like gratitude is annoying or underrated or overrated? It's like make
Well,
a gratitude list and you'll feel better. And everyone's like, oh my God, I'm so sick of being grateful.
well, yeah, and
know?
it is definitely like a catchphrase. It's definitely something some people use a lot of, but I mean, we can reword it. We can say, how do I feel blessed
Yeah, and what
today?
I love, Jessica, sometimes, like, even in your classes, you talk about the different frequency of emotion, like you talk about the frequency of shame or the frequency of guilt, and like the frequency of gratitude is how much higher than those.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the beauty of it is that when we focus on something like gratitude, there's that map of consciousness chart that you mentioned here, that low scale is shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, and pride. We reach up into the higher levels, you get love, which is at 500, joy and gratitude are at 540, and peace is at 600. So when you spend time with a memory or a thought or a feeling around any of those, love, joy, gratitude, or peace, what naturally happens is your body is recreating the chemicals like it's happening all over again. And so naturally what will happen is your vibration will shift up just with the thought. And I always recommend, 3 to 5 minutes with that memory, with that thought. And what you're doing is shifting the vibration within your whole body. Yeah. So
Mm.
that is a beautiful way we don't have to call it gratitude. If you're done with, honestly, I believe that. I mean, if people are just done with hearing it, like that whole gratitude train's come and gone, like, I'm sick of hearing it.
Maybe it's
Absolutely.
just me.
No, but it's okay because I think that's a big piece of this. When we hear it often enough, it's like, you know. But now we can take it and reframe it. It doesn't have to be gratitude. What if you think of the happiest memory you have, or something that makes you feel love or joy or gratitude or peace? You do that, and instantly those chemicals start to recreate in the body, and that's where you can change. In any given moment, you can change the way it's going. Um, recognizing what you have, right? Versus but you don't. And we can call it what we want.
Yeah, I love that,
Yeah.
Jessica. Thank you. I love that reminder and those teachings. Beautiful. What do you do to practice gratitude? Did you say you had a gratitude exercise or is
Well, the gratitude exercise essentially is one I also share in my sessions. And it's when you just take that time, literally, I tell people this. So this is because this would be a good thing for the Christmas holidays, because you're going into busy places, you're going into malls where people are just hectic. And if you're doing that at all, I don't
I
personally.
avoid it all costs?
Same. But if you got to do it, there's several things you can do. And one of those things is sit in your car before you go into that place. Go with that memory, whatever the memory is. It could be gratitude, but it also could be peace. It could be any of those things. And sit with it for 3 to 5 minutes. Just be present with it. And even then taking some time, if this is right for you, to surround yourself in like a golden bubble of protection and focus on that. And what you'll notice is when you go into the place, wherever it is, potentially people around you will feel better, but they won't know why, because you're emanating a frequency. It's such a beautiful frequency. And then on top of that, you'll also potentially trigger people because you're going to be vibrating in a higher state. And if that's happening, it's nothing to worry about. So don't focus too much on that. Notice that that is for them, not for you, and be present with that feeling that you have of gratitude or joy or love, right? Or peace.
Mm,
So that to me is one of the best ways to um, sort of rewire the brain and the direction things are going,
love that. You
especially.
feel the shift right away. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're all about sound, like you sing so beautifully in your singing bowl circles and your sound baths. Sound is a huge piece of yeah, of your life and mine.
Mhm.
And what do you think of all this like Christmas music and are there any tools? I mean, you talked a little bit about like that instrument we have within us that can also help regulate us or that we can tap into to help us as well in this kind of musical time.
Yeah. So if you haven't tried this before, humming is a really great way to shift the vibration within your body, and it actually changes things. It creates nitric oxide within the body and starts, I believe, in the back of the sinus cavity. When you hum, it naturally gets created and the vagus nerve is stimulated. There's so much going on there, and it can take you down into a more beautiful, peaceful, calm place. So,
Mm.
I find myself doing it without even thinking about it in grocery stores. And a lot of people,
I probably
but
do now. I'm going to totally notice if I do that too.
well, because I mean, I'm going along and I often even put headphones on to sort of calm my nervous system because those places, they tend to overstimulate me,
Mm.
malls and grocery stores and that kind of thing. But when you hum, so you're walking through the grocery store and you suddenly hear a Christmas song and because that's inevitable. And you then start to hum to it naturally. And what is happening on a grander scale is much, much more than we realize with the vagus nerve and the nitric oxide happening in the body. So if that's something that you can do and you feel comfortable doing, it slows the breath down. It basically lengthens your exhale, which helps the body to then relax a bit deeper into calmer state. And within seconds, of just a few seconds, it signals safety to your system, to your nervous system. So
Mm.
that's another thing you can do if you're,
I've
it
heard
doesn't
that.
matter
It's
where
so
you
interesting
are.
you bring that up again because I think I just read an article about how it's also impossible for intrusive thoughts to enter while you're humming. And I actually tried it in my kitchen last week because I was like, I
Yeah.
want to see if this is like, can I think and hum at the same time? Not like think and
Yeah.
hum, but it really did feel diluted. So I think that's really important too when we're like, our to-do list is like, running rampant in our minds.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and for the majority of us, and not everybody, obviously, but for the majority, we all know the Christmas songs,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Some of them are like overdone. But the reality is that it's easy to hum along to something that you're familiar with. And it's also okay to create something in your own mind, in your own voice, right? You don't have to
Mm.
follow along with anything in particular, but just know that, just a few minutes, not even just a couple minutes of humming. I think they said it was like within 30 seconds, you're starting to create something that is just that beautiful, beautiful, peaceful, calming state within your body.
Wow.
So a little bit, just even a little bit will help.
And I always believe like, our instrument inside our body, like, as we create sound, like it must shift all of our cells and all the water in our body and the vibration within it too. Like I always just think that that we are these walking instruments that we forget about.
Well, yeah. Well, and then bring to the water of the body, right? The water in the body, that's a whole other thing. Dr. Masaru Emoto talks about how all of the water in your body is impacted by every frequency you expose yourself to.
Mm.
right? So, and it can go much deeper. When you look into Dr. Masaru Emoto and the water guy, you'll know what I'm talking about. And
Yeah,
so
like the
that's a whole,
different shapes made out of water, if you speak different things to it, and so
yeah,
powerful.
it is. Yeah, it's really beautiful because he just basically proved that frequency impacts water. And when you know you've got about 75 to 85% water in your body, given whatever area of the body that is, then understanding that you have the power to shift the vibration of it just by being in a higher state. If all you did
Like
every morning,
gratitude.
yeah, right. I mean, yeah, the word's overused, but it definitely has its place for sure. But
Mhm.
if every morning all you did was focus on a glass of water, this beautiful, loving intention of peace, joy, gratitude, or love, or whatever the thing is, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. The next thing you know, what you're doing is you're shifting the vibration of your water and you're then ingesting it. That just sent goosebumps all over my body. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do. And allowing ourselves just to stop in a moment when you're feeling overwhelmed, it can be a really great way to then reset. Yeah.
Mhm. Beautiful, Jessica. Thank you for those tools today. I just love that the way a different way of reflecting on these tangible tools that sound so simple but are so available to us.
Yeah.
So that in itself is just a beautiful nugget, of wisdom to share to this audience here today. So Jessica, how can people hear more about you, or like where what kind of offerings you have coming up in the new year?
Thanks for asking. If you go to vibehigh.ca, that's www.vibehigh.ca, you'll see under view all offerings, you'll see all of the current information about what's happening. Winter solstice on the 20th of December. Next week. That's happening at Inglewood Community Hall. New Year's Eve, I'm doing a New Year's Eve session and a New
Oh,
Year's Day
neat.
session again where we write ourselves love letters. And I've already sent the love letters from last year, and people have received or are starting to receive them, and it's so beautiful because they've
Oh,
written
that's so
themselves.
neat.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot. Every session that I do, there's sessions regularly on Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays at the Geodesic Dome, White Owl Dome, just outside of Cochrane. There's a lot of opportunities. So yeah, just check out the current offerings on the website, and I'll be excited to welcome you.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Jessica, and Merry Christmas to you. I hope you guys have a beautiful holiday on your end too.
Thank you, and you too, Michelle.
Thank you.